Trial by fire.
Arthur, does it help to have someone to talk to?
Featuring a riveting and Oscar-worthy performance by Joaquin Phoenix, Joker would serve as an engrossing character setting without any of its DC trappings, but it just so happens to be a brilliant Batman universe movie with icing on the Batman cake. Director Todd Phillips' Joker presents a Gotham City that is unmistakably a hellish New York City of the past. This Gotham is a place of grimy despair, extreme wealth disparity, and festering lawlessness. All of this, coupled with a solid script from Todd Phillips and Scott Silver, give it its hyper-realism.
I used to think that my life was a tragedy, but now I realize it's a comedy.
Joker may be a period piece, but it is clearly about our own relentlessly troubled time. The 1980s setting not only allows it to be a comic book version of Martin Scorsese or Sidney Lumet's films, but it also strips away the technology that nowadays would help catch such a madman sooner rather than later. This is a time where people smoked everywhere, security cameras and metal detectors were not around, and no one wore seatbelts while driving. Times were bad, but they could even be worse. Joker, the character, acts as the symbolic match to that waiting dynamite.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
The mentally ill Arthur Fleck is a struggling, overlooked man trapped in the margins of society. A man who has never caught a break or a happy day in his entire life. The less said about how and why Arthur embraces the Joker persona and finds his liberation and joyful empowerment, the better. This is a film meant to be experienced with an open mind, but suffice it to say, this Joker is the end result of a culture far too comfortable with its casual cruelties and lack of empathy. As much as you sympathise with their plight, Gotham's downtrodden can be as callous and as vicious as the rich and powerful. Arthur is injured emotionally or physically by people at every level, as well as by the institutions that populate. Arthur is ultimately seeking human connection, something he tragically won't find until he puts on his happy face and exposes the city's own hypocrisies and inhumanity.
I didn't know if I even really existed, but I do. And people are starting to notice.
Joker may ask viewers to sympathise with its central protagonist, but it doesn't ask us to forgive him and his increasingly evil choices, as many real-world parallels and inspirations can be drawn from Arthur's descent into violent madness. The film still knows he is deranged and not to be romanticised, merely understood. Arthur's uncontrollable laughter looks like it physically pains him, his body is rail-thin and battered, his misery is etched on his deeply creased face. He looks healthier and livelier as he ever does as he transforms into the Joker. Despite this being an origin story, the comic book Joker infamously once said he prefers his origins to be multiple choice, and this movie wildly embraces that. This film is so well written it demands multiple viewings.
Is this a joke to you?
The best thing about the movie is that anyone can argue their point about what was real and what was imaginary, and no one will be able to say another's read of it was inaccurate. Overall, The Joker isn't an awesome comic book movie, it's an awesome movie, period. It offers no easy answers to the unsettling questions it raises about a cruel society in decline. Comic book fan or not, the Joker movie should leave everyone disturbed and moved at the same time in all the right ways. Well, that's all we have time for today. I hope you enjoyed this review of Joker. After seeing this film a couple of times now, I can honestly say this has been one of my favourite films of the last decade. The gritty realism and the hyper-realism combined make this one of those films it's very hard to compete with. Please make sure you subscribe and also hit that notification bell. I have lots of great content coming up for you, including some gaming videos starting next week. Thanks again for watching. This has been Aaron from Trial by Fire, and I will see you in the next video.